Set us free. Set us free. Set us free. Set us free. In this dark hour of need. Light our way back home, coming in from the cold, and we'll be all set free. Set us free.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'm hoping that you're having a good day. I got a question for you. Are you ready? Do you have a BHAG? You know what a BHAG is, right? You don't know what a BHAG is? Let me tell you about it and why you should have one. My name is Andy. I'm in Nacogdoches, Texas, and I'm excited to be with you today and share some info with you on a concept that I'm learning more and more about every day. So let me just give you some things that other people or companies or businesses or whatever that have BHAGs are, and see if you can figure out what they are before I give you a good definition. Are you ready? A BHAG, here are a few of them. Become a $125 billion company by year 2000. That was a BHAG of Walmart in 1990. Become the dominant player in commercial aircraft and bring the world into the jet age. That was a BHAG of Boeing in 1950. Help millions of people get the manager they deserve, and that was from Jana in 2016. Now here's one that you've probably thought about, and you may not have thought about those other two, but here's a good one. Crush Adidas. And that was Nike in the 1960s. Speaking of Nike, here's the next one. Become the Nike of the cycling industry. And that was by Giro Sport Design in 1986. And then there are a few more. Transform this company from a defense contractor into the best diversified high-tech company in the world. That was Rockwell in 1995. So what is a BHAG? A BHAG is a big, audacious, hairy goal. I got those backwards. Big, hairy, audacious goal. Excuse me. And let me give you a good, quick definition. Excuse me. What is a BHAG? A BHAG, or big, hairy, audacious goal. Why do you need one? If you want your business or yourself to be successful. A BHAG is a huge, seemingly impossible objective that can inspire outsiders and stakeholders alike. The concept of the BHAG is explored in Jim Collins' Built to Last. That was a great book. Now, there are good BHAGs and bad BHAGs, and we're not going to talk about those. But let me tell you a little bit more about the Boeing thing. See if I can make this zoom up a little bit. There we go. Put yourself in the shoes of Boeing's management team in 1952. Your engineers have the idea to build a large jet aircraft for the commercial market. Your company has virtually no presence in the commercial market, and your earlier commercial attempts have been failures. You've been building aircraft primarily for the military, such as the B-17 Flying Fortress, the B-29 Super Fortress, and the B-52 jet bomber. And 4/5 of your business from one customer, the U.S. Air Force. Furthermore, your sales force reports that commercial airlines in both the U.S. and Europe have expressed little interest in the idea of commercial jet from Boeing. The airlines have anti-Boeing bias. They build great bombers, period. That was the thought. No other aircraft company has proved that there is a commercial market for jet aircraft. Rival Douglas Aircraft believes that a propeller-driven plane will continue to dominate the commercial market. Your company still has memories of the painful layoffs from 51,000 employees down to 7,500 after the end of World War II. And for the clincher, you estimate that it will cost about 3 times your average annual after-tax profit for the last 5 years. Roughly a quarter of your entire corporate net wealth to develop a prototype for the jet. What should you do? If you're Boeing's management, you defy the odds and commit to the audacious goal of establishing yourself as a major player in the commercial aircraft industry. You build a jet, you call it the 707, and you bring the commercial world into jet age. Boeing Corporation is an excellent example of how highly visionary companies often use bold missions, or what we prefer to call BHAGs, as a particularly powerful mechanism to stimulate progress. A BHAG is not the only powerful mechanism for stimulating progress, nor do all the visionary companies use it extensively. Nonetheless, we found more evidence of this powerful mechanism in visionary companies and less evidence of it in the comparison companies in the 14 out of 18 cases. Okay, all of that says that Boeing decided that they were going to become the player for jet-powered commercial aircraft for us to travel in. And where would we be now? My goodness, you know that you can go from New Orleans to Houston in about an hour and a little bit in a jet, and that's even a small jet. That's not the big monster super jets. Now, how else could you do that? If you drove that, it's probably 5 hours, maybe a little bit longer, and you don't have to worry about going over that big long bridge. Oh, wow. So, that's amazing. Now, where would we be if we didn't have somebody who had the visionary at the helm of that company, for example, to do that? We would be riding on a prop plane, taking forever to get from Houston to New Orleans or wherever you want to go. Well, I'll give you an example. We drove all the way from Nacogdoches all the way up to our son and his family in Massachusetts one time. And that trip took like 20, however many hours. It was forever. It was forever. We flew it in, 5 or 6 hours. Big difference. Okay. What are some other BHAGs that I know about? I'll give you one. A company I'm associated with decided that they were going to raise all of the money to build a Habitat for Humanity home. And we did it. That's amazing. We're going to start building the home in March. I'm pretty excited about that. That was, they raised almost $80,000 in just a short time, even during COVID. That's a BHAG. Now, you can have a BHAG for yourself. I've got one. I think I made it public a few weeks ago, when I said that I'm going to ruck 800 miles this year. Now, that's a pretty big goal for me, because last year, now I did get sick with COVID and I couldn't ruck for some time. Last year, I only got 450 something miles in. Now, I didn't ruck the whole year, but still, that's a pretty big goal for me. Well, what's a BHAG for you? And then how do you accomplish the BHAG? I'll tell you how I accomplished mine. I put in the time and the miles and the steps every day, at least 5 days a week to get the steps in, to get the miles in. So far in January, I put in 60 miles, 63 actually. And then I know that I'm slowing down a little bit for February. 1, because it's a short month. 2, because I decided I'm going to drop it to 3 miles a day because I have other tasks, other goals that I want to do at the same time. So, but I'm holding on to the one big one that I've got. See, I've got a ringer in either March, April, or May. Probably April. I'm going to put a 100-mile month in. So I've got some BHAGs, and I'm doing the steps every day and every week and every month to accomplish that BHAG. You can have BHAGs in your life, whether it's to do some insurmountable odds, something that you think you can't do. I'll tell you what I thought I couldn't do. The BMI for my height says, and my age says, that I need to be at 186. I never, ever thought that I could get to 186 pounds. Honestly. I mean, when I started out realizing how overweight I was at 298. And I did a whole bunch of work, and over a whole bunch of years, I got down to 220, 215, something like that. And I kind of plateaued there. And I never thought I would do it. We were having issues with our insurance company. Andy, you got to do this, and we're going to charge you an extra $100 a month until you do this. Or you get a doctor to say that you're good. Well, that wasn't necessarily good. And I never thought I would get it down. And then I made some changes in August of 2019. And oh my goodness, I started having more energy. I started losing more weight. And I realized that it was possible. And then I think by May or June, I was getting closer. I dropped below 200, dropped into the low 190s. And then, oh my goodness, I weighed at the doctor's office and I was 186. I called the insurance lady up and said, hey, I made it to 186. And she was like, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. Good job. Now all we got to do is get your A1C down. Well, at this time, my A1C was 8. And I kept working. I kept doing what the doctor said. I kept doing my exercising. I kept eating right. I kept getting healthier. And would you believe it? I got my A1C down to 6.2. It has to be down below 7 to do it. I graduated out of that extra $100 a month they were charging us. And it was actually called a graduation program. I didn't walk across stage or anything. But those were small BHAGs. They were things that honestly I never thought I would do. Honestly, I never thought I would do. So is there a BHAG in your life? Do you have a big, hairy, audacious goal that you're working towards? Now, here's a scary part about it. If you keep it to yourself, you may not achieve it. Now, I don't know why, but if you put it out there for the universe, if you put it out there to people, my friend Paul was the first guy that I told that I was going to go 800 miles this year. And I think he kind of looked at me kind of quirky eyed like that, saying, are you sure you're going to do that? Anyway, I'm going to do it. I'm putting it out there and you guys can hold me accountable. Did you get your steps in? Yes, you can ask me. So what is your big, hairy, audacious goal? If you don't have one, come up with one. We all should have a purpose that we're driving to. Now you're asking, Andy, you're getting kind of crazy here lately. No, I'm not. I'm following the steps of other leaders that I'm learning from, and I'm setting goals for my life to improve my life. Part of my life is in improving my health. Why? Because I want to be around for my grandangels when they need to play with grandpa. For sure. Or when they need help moving into their college dorm. Now, I realize that I've got at least 13 years before that's going to happen, but I'm going to do my dangest to be strong and healthy enough to be able to help them move in. Now, you know that I'm talking about the 2 girls, right? Because we don't have any other ones yet. The 2 girls, you know how girls are. They're going to have, oh my goodness, 1,400 pounds of clothes trying to go into a dorm room. Anyway, they're going to need some help. I got to be strong enough to do that. I better start working a little bit harder now. You know what I'm saying? All right, listen. I hope you have a chance to think about a big, hairy, audacious goal for your life, for maybe your family's life, for your business, whatever it could be. Talk to your pastor. I bet you he's got, or she, has a big, hairy, audacious goal for the church. Whether it's to have an outreach, to reach out to, 2,000 people. We did that one time. Well, we've done it a few times since then, but we had a big, hairy, audacious goal to feed Nacogdoches at Thanksgiving. And we have done that a few times. Praise God. But it took a whole bunch of us coming together to help it out, to help make it work. So there may be big, hairy, audacious goals in your church or your community. You can jump on with that. There were big ones here in Nacogdoches last year with Project NAC, where they would go help a house for either seniors or low income or whatever and help renovate the house, or at least get it so that it was livable and safe. There may be big, hairy, audacious goals that you can take part of for other things. But think about it. Find something that is your purpose that you're striving towards, and then do the little steps every day that help get you there. Okay, I'm stopping. Listen, hey, by the way, if you would like my research, I would love to get this to you because there's some great info in here. Great examples of other companies or people or whatever that have set big, hairy, audacious goals and then have taken the steps to get there. I've got a whole bunch of examples for you. Send me a link, make a comment, whatever. I will get you all this info for free just as quick as you tell me, and I get back to a computer. Right now, we've got some big, hairy, audacious goals. My wife is cooking some breakfast casseroles that we are going to share with some people. So my goal tonight is to get myself home to help so we can deliver those. In the meantime, tell everybody that you know, that you love them, that you appreciate them. Did you do Wealth Wednesday yesterday? I did. Think about it if you haven't. It'd be a great way to bless somebody. That could be a goal, to do Wealth Wednesday once a week. All right. I hope you have a fantastic evening. Be blessed. We are going to listen to some Look At You Now. And after you accomplish your goal, after you work yourself up to it and you crush that goal, you'll be able to sing Look At You Now and pat yourself on the back. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.